Week 9. Week 9 Division 2 Season 2 of the Pokemon Premier League. And I still only have 2 wins. 2 wins. Which should have been 3. Should have been 3 last week. But the game is against me. Didn't want to give me the crit that I needed. But not only is the game against me, everything, everybody, everyone is against me. Even right now, while I'm trying to record this, there's a goddamn alarm going off across the road, trying to distract me from what I want to do. Everything is against me. The game didn't want to give me the crit that I needed. All the other managers in the PPL just saying, Mono was going to win anyway. No. No, he wasn't. I'm not having any of it. And this week we're playing Jordan and the Southampton Sneasels, and I swear to God, Jordan, if more of the same happens this week, I am done. So if you come out, if you hacks me, if the game hates me again, if you let it happen, Jordan, I am done. I am done with everything. Losing to Mono last week, all it's done has made me more hungry, more motivated to get the win that I need. And I am determined to prove the game wrong. I am not someone that's about to be pushed over by hacks. So you can bring what you want, Jordan. But this conspiracy of everyone being against me ends now.
Alright, the match. You should know what I'm bringing to this game. Go watch my team builder videos. Blah blah blah. Same as every week. Seriously, how are you not getting the message by now? Now, as you can see on the screen, Jordan has elected to bring Heliolisk, Greninja, Skarmory, Mienshao, Arcanine, and Mega Gardevoir. No Garchomp. No Garchomp, which means Hippowdon, which is specifically designed to stop Garchomp, is not going to be doing all that much this game. But having said that, what I expected him to notice straight away was the fact that I had no Fortress, and I expected him to lead with his Skarmory so he can get up his hazards as soon as possible. So, let's see how that one goes as we get into the match. So, I wanted to lead with Weezing, expecting the Skarmory, so I can hit that thing with a nice and powerful Flamethrower, but he's going to lead with his Mega Gardevoir. Now, I didn't want to run the risk of him having Psychic. If he had Psyshock, I could take it. If he packed Psychic, I can't. So I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go into my Shaman. Loves to the Shaman is my dedicated switch into this Mega Gardevoir. I do not get too hit KO'd by a Hyper Voice for a max special attack timid Mega Gardevoir, which is what I was expecting going into this match. He's going to make up and go for the Psyshock. So I was like, I could have taken that with Weezing, and I could have fired off a big Sludge Bomb against him because I have quite a bit of special attack investment on that Weezing. That Psyshock does a respectable amount, but I know I can take a Hyper Voice, and I expected him to switch out here, not wanting to take damage on it, but he gets a Hyper Voice, and he gets a crit! He gets a crit! Turn 2. Now I go for a Leech Seed, expecting him to switch, and now, if he didn't get that crit, I could have taken another Hyper Voice. With Leftovers recovery and with the Leech Seed recovery, I could take another Hyper Voice and I could fire off a Synthesis, get back to good health, and I would have been looking really good. But now, because of that crit Hyper Voice on turn 2, I can't, and I'm going to have to switch. And Shaman, which is my switch into this guy, is massively weakened. I'm going to go into Slowking, as he's going to go for another Hyper Voice. He has no reason not to, and it does just over half. But with Leech Seed, that takes me back just over half, which means I can take another one, and I'm going to get off a Trick Room and scare this guy. I need to scare him. So he's going to go for another Hyper Voice. I know we can take it. We take it. We get off the Trick Room. So like, okay, now it's in my favor. I know I can't take out a Mega Gardevoir from this range with any move. I can't take it out if it's the set I'm expecting. So I'm going to have to switch, get Regenerator back on Slowking, so he can come in another time and set up another Trick Room another day. Now, I'm going to go into Sylveon because I know I can take a Hyper Voice and I can respond with a Hyper Voice of my own. But he's going to switch out and he's going to go into his Heliolisk. Laxus his Heliolisk, and that is not going to end well for you, Jordan. You get OHKO'd by a Specs Hyper Voice. So let's just fire it off. I expected the specially defensive Skarmory, but I still wanted to get damage anyway. Force him to roost if I have to. We fire off the Hyper Voice, we can see that is specially defensive. Still does a nice chunk though. A very nice chunk to this Skarmory indeed. Now, I was pretty certain that he was going to roost here, and I had two options here. I could bring in Shaman and Synthesis up on it, or I could bring in Slowking to get more Regenerator. I could switch out, get Regenerator again, which means I could take another Hyper Voice from Mega Gardevoir and set up a Trick Room later if I needed to. Which I would need to, because that's the way I win this game. So now he's going to switch out his Skarmory, and he is going to elect to go back into his Mega Gardevoir, which is fine because I take this opportunity just to fire off a Scald. If I can burn something, that'd be great. And he switches it in, he takes big damage, no burn. So like, okay, we can switch out again. Twisted Dimensions return to normal, which means we're now slow. This Mega Gardevoir is a big problem once again. But I'm going to switch out, get more Regenerator back, and I'm going to have to sack off my Shaman, which I wouldn't have had to do if he didn't crit me on turn 2. So Shaman goes down, having done nothing. Shaman goes down, designed to switch into Mega Gardevoir, had to be sacked. So now I'm going to bring in Ampharos. I can take a Hyper Voice pretty decently well against this thing. But he is going to like to switch out into his Greninja. He called this a misplay. Yeah, definitely a misplay, because he has the Air Balloon, and I'm going to fire off a Volt Switch. Boom. Decided to get some momentum in my favour, and I went for a Volt Switch there expecting the switch out. Now, I get big damage off in the Greninja, and what I elected to do in here, my Ampharos is my switch into Greninja. So I'm going to go into Slowking, switch straight back into Ampharos to get even more Regenerated back on Slowking, and it's looking really good again. In comes back in the Ampharos as he's going to go for the U-turn. Can we please get the static? Can we get the static paralysis? Of course we can't. Why would we ever get the static paralysis? That's 3 times in the season it could have happened now. 4 times even it could have happened in the season. None. In comes Arcanine, gets an Intimidate. I'm like, I can take a hit from you. I'm mixed defensive Ampharos. I can take this. I'm at a very nice amount of HP. I can take a hit. Let's see what this guy's got. I'm going to expect him to go for a Crunch, expecting my switch into Slowking. I'm not having any of it. He stays in, but I can see from that damage, once again, no static paralysis, which this time is good because I go for a Toxic. But I can see from that damage from Crunch, he is adamant choice banded Arcanine. So I'm like, okay, he's locked into Crunch. Cool. Good knowledge. Now, he's going to take a bit of poison damage, which is great. He's going to get worn down really quick, especially if he starts firing off Flare Blitzes another time. He's going to get worn down really, really quick. Now, he's going to switch out and go into his Heliolisk, as I'm going to switch out and go on into my Hippowdon, because I know I can take a Crunch from that guy. And this works out pretty well for me, because he can't Volt Switch on me. He's forced to U-turn. He does actually pack the U-turn. But I'm going to take this opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks, because they do really hurt the Arcanine, and it's nice to wear down everything else. In comes the Greninja, which would have died to said Stealth Rocks if I'd have got them up beforehand. So I'm going to get up the rocks. Now I'm thinking, I can take a Water move from you. I'm holding the Pasho Berry, but he's going to expect my switch out, and he's going to go for a U-turn. But it's fine, I can take this. I can take that just fine. Just fine. And he is going to go out, and he's going to go back into his Skarmory, as eventually, once he takes poison damage, Stealth Rock damage, I'm going to go for an Earthquake, but obviously, he's immune. I expected him to stay in there, try and hit me with a Water move, maybe a Scald, but unfortunately, the Pasho Berry did not come into play just then. Now he is going to switch out his Skarmory and go on out into his Mienshao, which is fine, which is absolutely fine, because I'm going to make the switch, and I'm going to go out into my Slowking. Now, I don't want to take a knockoff from this guy, but Slowking's back at full HP right now, which is great. I'm going to go into Weezing, which is my dedicated stop to this Mienshao. And I'm very happy I did, because he does go for the knockoff. So if I'd have stayed in with Slowking, that would have been pretty much a dead Slowking. He's going to knock off my Black Sludge, and we can see he's Life Orb. Like, okay. Now he's going to U-turn, and what I expected here was him to go into his Skarmory to try and take the potential poison move. Also, he doesn't mind being burned, so I'm thinking that's his play, is to go into Skarmory as a middle ground play. Also, we got a crit U-turn. Please, game, stop doing that. He does go into Skarmory, as I'm going to go for the Flamethrower, expecting the Skarmory. In comes a Flamethrower, and we can see this does big damage. That's especially defensive Skarmory, but because I have really nice special attack investment on this Weezing, that still does a lot. Now he's going to elect to go for the Roost. I'm like, okay, I have multiple plays at this point. I expected the Roost, and I'm going to go for a Pain Split. Get my Weezing nice and healthy again, so I can stop that. Mienshao one more time, because obviously I was pretty worn down from that one time from the knockoff plus U-turn. I want to be able to stop that Mienshao a bit better. Now, I know he had two plays. Switch out into Arcanine expecting a Flamethrower, or stay in and defog the rocks away. I'm going to go for a Sludge Bomb, because I do not want that Arcanine switching in for free. Because that's a banded Arcanine, and I do not have a switch in. So now, I'm going to expect him to expect me to go for the Flamethrower, and I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb for the second turn in a row, as he is going to switch in the Arcanine. He's going to take, obviously he just got the rocks away, so he's not going to take that Stealth Rock damage, but I'm going to fire off a Sludge Bomb. He's already poisoned, so there's no chance of that, but we get big damage, just over half, and he's going to take more poison, and he's getting really, really worn down, which is just what I wanted from this Arcanine. Now I'm going to stay in with Weezing. I'm going to elect to sack it off, which is not really what I wanted to do, but I felt like it was my best play at the time, and Weezing goes down, but he's taking massive Flare Blitz recoil, and he's looking really, really weak right now, which is great. He's going to go down to poison on this turn, so I'm going to bring in my Hippowdon, and I'm going to take this opportunity to get up my rocks again. Obviously, he defogged them way before. I know he's going to go for a Flare Blitz. He's going to kill himself to recoil. And I know I can take one, and I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks. But he gets the burn! Of course he gets the burn! Why wouldn't he get the burn? So now I'm going to set up my rocks, which is fine. The burn doesn't affect the rocks. We're going to get those up, and he's going to be forced to defog them away again at some point. So he's got the crit Hyper Voice right now off the Mega Gardevoir against Shaman. He got the crit U-turn with Mienshao, and then he burned me off a Flare Blitz. He's going to come with Mega Gardevoir. I still have no switch into this, so I'm going to elect to sack off my Hippowdon, and it's going to go down. Mega Gardevoir taking another kill. Now I'm going to bring in Ampharos. I know I can live a Hyper Voice from this guy. I can Volt Switch, and I can kill it. So I'm going to take this Hyper Voice just fine. Just kidding, because the game hates me. It crits me again. Again. That's a big crit. That Mega Gardevoir would be dead if I didn't get critted right there. Now he's going to taunt me, so I can't set up a Trick Room. And he wouldn't have been able to do that because he would have been dead if he didn't crit me. So I'm going to be forced to take a big Hyper Voice and kill this Mega Gardevoir with a Psyshock, and my Slowking's down to half health now. Because of those two crits, the big one against Shaman, forcing me to sack it, so that Mega Gardevoir couldn't have been weakened, so I couldn't switch into it more, and now because he crit my Ampharos, I couldn't set up a Trick Room because he was able to taunt me. Now in comes the Mienshao. He's going to be able to knock off my Slowking, and that Slowking's dead, and I've lost this game because all I have left is Sylveon, and I can't set up the Trick Room to sweep like I wanted to because he crit me. Now, from this Sylveon, I'm full health. A Life Orb Poison Jab has an 18% chance to kill me, so can I please take this Poison Jab and just kill this Mienshao to make it through? Of course not! Because he crits me again! Again! 3 crits in this match! Every single one of them that mattered. That alarm's going off again, and I swear to God, I'm gonna punch someone in a minute. 3 crits. Every single one of them mattered. Even got a 4th crit on that U-turn with Mienshao against Weezing. And how many crits did I get? None. He got the burn off a Flare Blitz. Did I get a static when he U-turned with Greninja against Ampharos? Of course I didn't. Did I get a Scald Burn with Slowking against Mega Gardevoir? Of course I didn't. I'm not joking when I say this game is against me. When I say there's a conspiracy and I say that everything goes against me, I'm not lying. The facts are right here. Every single bit of hacks went Jordan's way. And that game would have been mine. That game would have been mine. That crit on Shaman turn 2. Forcing me to sack it off, which meant I lost my switch into Mega Gardevoir. The crit on Ampharos, which would have allowed me to take out Mega Gardevoir. Meaning I couldn't set up Trick Room with Slowking, because he was still around and available to taunt me. And then just to rub salt in the wound, that crit on Sylveon, just to make sure that I couldn't even make it a 3-0. I am so done with this. I have had enough. I have had enough. We got 2 weeks left in the season. 2 weeks. Next week, we're playing Amazing Chi. Amazing Chi. And you had better watch your back. Because I am angry. And I am not going to hold back with anything against you. Yeah, you better shut up, Alarm. Chi, I'll see you next week. And that goes for all you watching too. I'll see you next week. Get out of here.